Guys, I think I'm ready. So my dude's Valkyrja, and today I'm going to be showing off my Yukong build, what I plan to build for Yukong, to hopefully give you guys some ideas. Now this build will not be for everybody. Not everyone's going to be able to replicate this because I'm going to be using the BP weapon. Outside of the BP weapon, there's different options depending on what you're doing, the light cones, etc. Whenever I make an overall Yukong review, I'll make sure to include what options you could have with her, especially since everybody's going to be getting Yukong for free and she looks to be so strong. Now, one thing about Yukong that I basically have kind of overlooked, and that a lot of people have overlooked, is the fact that her buffing capabilities is not reliant on her personal stats. So what does that mean? It means that she is a very strong character that's going to be able to be a buffer and simultaneously be a sub DPS. Going DPS Yukong actually is not a really bad idea. It actually is a pretty decent idea. It's something you should consider. The only thing you need to look for is crit rate, crit damage. Keep in mind her ult increase. Her ult does about a good like 400% multiplier, and you're going to give yourself a good bit of crit rate as well. So you only need around like 30% crit rate to be able to crit consistently with her ultimate. You're not going to be critting without it, but during it, but yeah, you'll have that. And also keep in mind, she doesn't actually use her own stacks of her buffing ability. So she's going to be able to use her buff and then ult immediately after using the buff and be able to actually take advantage of her buff without consuming a stack of it. That's one thing to consider. And she also has increased break effect, like not increased break effect, but increased break efficiency, I guess is the word to look for. She does more damage to toughness bars is what I mean. She does more damage to toughness bars thanks to her trace, or not her trace, but her talent 1. Her talent's really good against toughness. So let's get into the build that I want. Cowboy. Now I know you guys are probably like, Valk, I'm sick and tired of you slamming Cowboy on every single unit and calling it good. Two things. One, Cowboy's a really good set in general. Just generally speaking, it's a very solid set. It gives you 12% attack, 10% basic attack damage, and 6% speed. The 4-piece you don't really need on her. You could go 2-piece Cowboy, 2-piece break effect even, because Imaginary has really good break effect. She's really good at shredding toughness. It kind of goes hand in hand. You could run 2-piece Cowboy, 2-piece break effect. You could run 4-piece break effect even. Break effect's a pretty good set for her. The thing is with Cowboy is I have it more readily available. I already have a Cowboy set built up, so I'll be able to build and test her using Cowboy. I do have some break effect pieces that I'm definitely considering, but I would have to be able to build them first. As you can see here, I have a good amount of break effect pieces just kind of sitting around. I don't really have a good break effect chest piece. That's kind of like the decider for me, while I have this for Cowboy so I can give her the crit rate she needs. But I have good break effect pieces all up and down the board, so it's definitely something I was considering, but I ended up settling on Cowboy because it's just generally a good set. And then for the Planar set, Fleet of the Ageless. The reason Fleet of the Ageless, because it buffs all allies' attacks increased by 8%, should consume or consider themselves an ally, gives them a little bit more HP and survivability. It's the exact same build I've done a million times now. It's not that I think this is the best. I actually think Imaginary set's going to be the best on her because it allows you to kind of just dip purely into crit damage, and it's very easy to debuff enemies. So I think the Imaginary set is something you really should consider whenever you're looking at building her like a sub DPS option. But Cowboy set is really good. Break effect set is really good. She has tons of good options. She's very flexible in terms of building, simply because, like I said, her buffs do not rely on her personal stats. She just gives flat amounts of buffs to everybody, just like straight up, like here's 80% attack, here's 30% crit rate, here's 7% crit damage. I don't know exactly how much it is off the top of my head, but she gives flat amounts of buffing, so you can build her pretty much however you want. And like I said with the light cone, I am going to be using the BP light cone. It is cracked if you get the Harmony BP light cone. At the start of battle and whenever the wearer's turn begins, one of the following effects is applied. All allies crit, or all allies attack increases by 10%, all allies crit damage increases by 12%, or all allies energy regeneration rate increases by 6%. All three buffs are really good. This is just a really stupid cracked light cone, especially if you're able to get it SI5 in the future. It's going to give you lots and lots of value. I think it's a very strong light cone. Another decent one could be past and future. When the wearer uses their skill, the next ally taking action, except the wearer, deals 24% increased damage for 1 turn. It could be good depending on speed tuning, but this isn't going to be something that's going to be hyper consistent. But then again, Yukong's not going to be hyper consistent. But another good option if you're building here is say sub DPS. After ending battle, if an ally deals the same damage type as the wearer, damage dealt increases by 18%. I believe this affects the wearer themselves. This is just a general, like, if you put it on her, it's just an imaginary damage buff to the entire team. It should be pretty damn good. So this could be an option for the sub DPS option of her, but I still think that this is probably the best 4-star Harmony Light Cone that there is. This is just a really, really good 4-star Harmony Light Cone, so it's something definitely you want to consider. All in all, if you couldn't tell at the very beginning, I have enough to get her 4777 across the board and unlock her big Ascendance traces. That's where I'm going to be going with the traces. Anyways, that's my Yukong build. That's my plan for her. Hopefully this makes a lot of sense, and hopefully me just slamming cowboy set on everybody isn't getting old, because yes, the set is generally just really good, but there are better options. Like I said, the imaginary damage set looks so good. It looks like a good option for her, but I just can't afford the fuel right now to go ahead and farm it, especially with Kafka coming. I'm actually wanting to build Kafka with a lightning set, with all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm actually wanting to make a really, really cracked Kafka set. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. But other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about Yukong, if you guys are going to build her, if you guys want her, if you guys plan on getting her. For me, if I get her before I get Locha, then I'm going to build her. I want the stuff ready because she's going to be there as an option. But if I happen to not get her as a 4-star on my way to getting Locha, and I have to wait to get her for free, then so be it. That's going to be an option too. That's going to be something that could potentially happen. I hope it doesn't. I have enough to max both characters all the way to 80 with level 7 traces. But in the end, only God can decide what I get, right? Only fate can decide, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.